If your manifestations are not coming true, you're probably manifesting with an incredibly dysregulated nervous system, and there is something you can do about it. Look, when we talk about manifestation, it's often from a very like mystical, magical, esoteric place, but it's a lot less up here and a lot more grounded when you understand that manifestation has everything to do with how safe your physical body feels when you're calling in the things that you're calling in for yourself. And for a lot of us, we try to manifest from a place of force and desperation rather than from a place of flow and alignment. We're trying to make things happen for ourselves because it's like manifest, 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 write it down, script it, you do all these different things. But there's a feeling that is missing in your body, and that doesn't come from thinking about the feeling. It actually comes from being able to feel the feeling and feeling like you're worthy of having whatever it is that you're calling in, feeling like you deserve the thing that is coming your way, feeling like you are a vibrational match for the thing that you're calling in for yourself. So when you're manifesting from a place of desperation or force, oftentimes it's not how you're manifesting, it is what you're manifesting to. And a lot of us are not manifesting the things that we actually desire because it's easier to say that we want X, Y, and Z rather than to talk about the things that we truly desire, because there might be some kind of story or shame or guilt or fear, because it feels scary to say that you want this like delusional career, or you want this kind of lifestyle, or you want to have X, Y, and Z things, rather than to claim some of the things that are very, basic and very, normal to want. Like, here's your house, here's your home, here's your relationship. Everybody wants these different things, but maybe it feels safer for you to say those things than to really truly speak out the things that you actually want and you have so much energetic connection to. And so the thing is, we're manifesting things that are from societal pressure. You think you want this because of society, because of your parents, because of you said it 5 years ago and now you feel like you have to commit to it, because if you don't, then all of a sudden you're a liar, or because, social media or whatever the reason is, you might be trying to manifest things that you don't really give a crap about, that you don't really have any kind of energy behind, because it is just part of your subconscious story, part of your subconscious narrative, that you think you want this rather than the things you low-key actually deep down inside know you want. And so this has everything to do with your nervous system, because there's a mismatch between what it is that you say you want versus what it is that your body feels when you say that thing. So if you're saying oh, I want that house with that car, and maybe it might be part of the things that you want, but not that thing that you think is that total it's gonna feed your soul, that thing that you truly want to manifest. These things seem more reachable. Oh, house and a car just seems more reasonable and reachable than this other thing that you're a little bit afraid or ashamed to say, or it feels too scary to say. So you can lie to your mind all you want, your mind is easily trickable, but your body is less trickable. Your nervous system knows the difference between what is in alignment and in a flow for you and what it is that you're doing out of force. So if you're forcing things to come into your life and you're forcing you to want the things, it just becomes a lot harder for you to take that inspired action. Because what happens when our nervous system dysregulates is that it goes either into a hyper arousal mode or it goes into hypo arousal mode. Hyper meaning that we do too much, we get overactivated, we feel okay, I said these manifestations, now I have to do all the things around it, and because of you go into your people pleasing, you go into your type A personality, you go into your perfectionism, you go into hyper problem solving. This is a very hyper aroused nervous system state. And the opposite of that is a hypoarousal, meaning underactive. You shut down. Okay, so this basically, long story short, it just looks like you shut down. So it becomes harder for you to take an action that feels doable, manageable, the first step, because you're in a shutdown mode. But now if you're taking actions towards things that have the energy, that have the energetics behind it, meaning that you feel truly excited about initiating something that is way delusional and way scary and way out there, but you feel excitement towards it, you feel the joy towards it, you feel a little bit of it is still scary, there's still fear, I don't know if fear ever goes away, there's still fear, but the fear is more from a place of excitement, from a place of wonder and mystery and just like the excitement for the unknown, rather than a fear of like failing, a fear of not being good enough, fear of not like deserving something. So that excitement actually supercharges your nervous system. That excitement makes your activity, your action, just a little bit more aligned. So it feels easier to take harder actions than if you were like not interested about something, then it makes it harder. So for example, like if you're going to a friend's house that you're like truly excited to hang out with, you're gonna like get ready, you're gonna like have a happy time, you're gonna, listen to music while you're preparing to drive over to your friend's house, you're gonna bring snacks, you're gonna come with a different energy than if you're going over to somebody's house like you don't want to hang out with, or you're being forced to go somewhere and like it's just not that exciting for you. So it's like, okay, I'm dragging my feet getting ready, I'm dragging my feet brushing my teeth, I'm dragging my feet, like packing my bag, I'm dragging my, like I'm gonna be 10 minutes late. It just feels like a different energy doing something that you like are not that interested in, rather than something that you feel like truly enthusiastic about, right? And that's just like a simple example, just like going over to somebody's house that like you want to hang out with versus somebody's house that's going to be a chore. So your nervous system is always dictating that. Your nervous system has essentially this radar to take in that information. So if you're trying to go over to something that you don't care about, of course, like the process of going there is just going to be less interesting and less motivating. You're gonna have a different type of momentum. You still might get there, you probably will get to your friend's house, right? And you probably will get to the manifestation, but the process of it is just as important, because the energy behind what it is that you're manifesting and how it is that you're manifesting is important. So the way that you regulate your nervous system is, well, the easiest way is to be able to regulate your breath. Breathwork is the #1 somatic healing tool in the entire world that allows you to deepen your connection with your nervous system. And most of us actually have an incredibly dysregulated nervous system, and most of us are up here like we're in hyper aroused mode. We like do not know how to shut down. We have anxiety from it, we have a busy mind from it, we have like endless to-do lists in our mind about it, we have so much like I'm not good enough kind of energy. You're up here, or you're somebody who's on the total opposite spectrum where you're completely shut down. Hyperarousal often looks like great big depression, feels like you feel numb, feels like there's no enthusiasm towards something, it feels like doom and gloom, it feels like you just don't want to do anything anymore. And these two different states, maybe you even fluctuate. There's probably like a dominant state for you and then a less dominant state for you. So wherever it is that you are, your body wants to be in the middle. It's known as the window of tolerance, it's known as the equilibrium, it's known as Zen, it's known as flow state, it's known as many things. But essentially what it says is that anything that is too high wants to come back down into the middle, and anything that is too low in your body wants to come back up into this middle. This area, this middle area, is the flow state where you're able to make decisions and choices for yourself from a place of alignment. So you know that like, yes, maybe it is the house and a car, and that is part of the vision, but there's something bigger, there's something different, there's something just a little bit unsaid that is more in alignment to what it is that you want to call in for yourself. So part of manifestation is like be delusional, right? But also like being realistic with like, do you want these things, or has there been some kind of subconscious programming that you're not aware of? Because subconscious literally means, here's your consciousness, sub meaning under, subconscious meaning under your consciousness, like you under your awareness. You don't actually know that you might be wanting things that are really not truly what your heart desires, and your physical body will always tell you that. So let me know in the comments if that is something that resonates with you. And of course, if you want to know more about nervous system regulation, how to get out of that hyper arousal or hypoarousal states, heal through anxiety, stress, depression, and also allow your clients and community to do the same, come become a certified breathwork facilitator at www.flowbreathworktraining.com. We're enrolling, and you're also welcome to talk to a Flow Breathwork mentor at any point if you want to talk and see if this program is going to be right for you, and how becoming a Flow Breathwork facilitator can support the current work that you already do as a healer, as a coach, as a therapist, as a wellness practitioner, and nurse, a doula, and all the different beautiful things that you do in the healing arts. Definitely hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And remember, the world is your playground. And until next time, I will catch you soon.